My name's Dave. This is the Not So Ancient Chinese Secret Show, and we're going to talk about high-end in-ear monitors right now. And I did an episode on some of my favorite headphones, and just spoiler alert, in the very end, if you can't afford like really high-end in-ear headphones but want really good sound quality that you can trust, then just go get the Sony MDR 7506s. And I've got links in the description for all this stuff below. But if you are like me and you're looking to travel and you want in-ear headphones that you can trust and love to listen to music, to make media, then this is for you. And so I bought the Shure SE846s, and these are what they call universal fits. So they're supposed to fit everybody on humanity, everybody, right, in their ears. And they're not inexpensive. In Canada, they're $1,200 Canadian. I think that's not inexpensive for these little tiny things. But they are just a thing of beauty. If you take a look at the engineering, they just look magnificent. I got the clear model so I could see their engineering in it. And they claim to have the first in-ear monitor with a true subwoofer. And so I do find that it is beautifully made. And I was so excited to get these in, and then I put them on and I was so disappointed. I was shocked and I didn't know why, and I tried different ear tips, and one of the biggest problems, and it is my problem personally, and as we'll learn a little bit later on, is that my ear canals are not made for universal earbuds. Shockingly, I do fit the Apple AirPods, which don't go very deep into your ear. And so some people have problems with those, but I don't. I can even run with the Apple AirPods and they don't fall out of my ears. But when I shove the SE846s into my ears, I can hear my heartbeat. It starts like as if my heartbeat is in my head. And then I can hear my breathing. Everything's accentuated, like it's in a boom box. And this was a big problem, because if you're ever trying to listen to music and all you can hear is your heartbeat and all you can hear is your breathing, it really is annoying. The other problem is I found that when I put these headphones in and I shoved them as far as I could in my ear, I didn't have any high frequency. And I thought, this is really weird. Like how can people love this headphone? Because the reviews are 5-star for this thing, you know, and they're not inexpensive. These are expensive headphones. And I thought to myself, how could this be such a beloved pair of headphones if they sound like this? And it's not like I'm a Grammy-winning audio engineer, but like I said in my last video on headphones, and I've got links down below to that one too, that I used to do recording, I used to do audio engineering as well, but I just didn't love these headphones. And so on this very same day that I got these, I called up a local shop. I called up Simon at Plunge Audio and they make custom IEMs, in-ear monitors. IEM stands for in-ear monitors. And I had a conversation with them. I've been kind of considering them for a long time, but I didn't justify the prices because they start at over $1,000 and go up to like, I think it's $1,600, $1,700 for in-ear monitors. And they're custom made, molded to your ear. And I'm wearing them right now, okay? Now, one of the caveats, one of the reasons why I said I want to buy them is because I've had older Shures that I loved, that I knew would be reliable over the years, but whenever I talked, they'd fall out of my ears, and I'm constantly readjusting. And as you can tell with customs, I don't have to readjust all the time. They just fit, which is great. Anyways, this is Simon's Plunge Audio, and it's here locally in Calgary, Alberta. And so if you're ever passing through town, do give Simon a chat. He's definitely worth it to go in and take a look. He's got a lot of very cool stuff for the audio geek, and he hand builds every single one, 3D printers, and he's just a great guy to hang out with. And so when I got there, I made sure that I could get my custom molds done. He didn't charge for this, don't waste his time, but he didn't charge me for this. But it was after he showed me the ear molds that came out of my ears that it only takes about 10-15 minutes that I understood why I was having so many problems with the Shure 846s. And the problem is my own ear canal. I've got this really weird shape to it that I had no idea. And that also probably explains why when I tried to do my own custom molds that I couldn't get a good fit for these Shure headphones. And so I know I look like a dork, but if you have to have that relaxed look on your face when you're doing the custom headphones, and so that they'll actually stay. Shockingly, I thought these would be immeasurably more comfortable than anything else on the planet. I do find that I get a little bit of fatigue on my ears when I wear these for more than a couple hours. That being said, they are quite comfortable. And when I talk, it seems fine. They don't fall out, but I do still hear a little bit of my own voice in here. I'm not sure if that's normal or not, but yeah, I'm sure it kind of is. But the process is pretty seamless, but this is the interesting part. So after he took out my molds from my ears, he kind of looked at my ear canals, because you can't always choose any model that he makes, because the problem is the fact that he's got to put a lot of electronics into the actual ear mold, right? And so when he looked at my ear molds, he explained to me, oh, you have this weird hook at the end, and that's why you're not hearing the right sound from the universal fits. And so this is him explaining it better than I can.
Totally.
That's crazy.
You got that
Oh,
nice.
yeah, it's wacko.
Yeah,
Hard to
right?
get in there.
You know, the sound
Yep.
tube coming off the Shure is going to go this way.
Yeah. It doesn't
So
go right to
the end of the sound tube is wants to
Deflected.
feed it right against it rather than coming around the corner and feeding
Yeah.
it towards your.
Oh, okay.
So
So you can get right in there.
that can mess it up,
Yeah.
which also that's probably why you have to kind of seal it further out, which makes them
Bigger.
stick further out, right?
got
Because you
it.
can't get around that corner.
Yeah, it's causing the grief in the high frequency.
Yeah, and if you push them too far in, then you get that muffled thing because it goes right against
makes
that.
sense. Therein lies all of my problems. That is the weirdest thing ever. But like he was talking about the occlusion effect, and the occlusion effect is when you have something. When an object fills the outer portion of your ear, of the ear canal, and then then what happens is that the sound inside, it becomes like kind of hollow or booming echo-like sound of their own voice, and it's caused by bone conducted sound vibrations. And so that was my issue when I was listening to the Shure SE846s, and that weird heartbeat thing too, I think is the very same thing. And the reason why I decided to go with his top of the line custom IEMs was because, one, he taught me what my problem was with universals. And so even if I were to get a custom sleeve on the Shures, I couldn't reach around that corner in my ear canals. And then two, he can custom tune the sound even after he builds you the headphones. And that was a revelation to me. So if I wanted less high frequency, he could take it off. And so it's kind of a weird thing because he's got a totally flat frequency response if you want that, but he can fine tune it for you as you wish. And so I loved that. And so I decided to take the Plunge. He's never heard that one before. And I got some custom headphones done at Plunge Audio. And it comes in this really cute case that he customizes for you. He puts your phone number on there that I've blurred out. And they're just beautiful works of art. And these are all hand built, including the cable. And so he hand braids these cables that are a mix, I believe, of copper and silver. And more on that in a little bit, because the cables, I couldn't believe it, make a difference in the sound quality. And so I've spent the last couple of days listening to a lot of music and a lot of critical listening, and I am shocked at what I've learned over these last couple of days. And one of the things that you should look at when you're comparing these different headphones is definitely, if the Shure SE846s fit and they sound great to you, then by all means keep them, and they're going to might work for you. But if you're finding yourself, hey, these just sound awful to me, I don't know why, and I can hear my heartbeat, I can hear my breathing, it's really bothering me, then you might have canals like mine that just don't fit the standard universal fit like that most people do. Now, the funny thing is, I was on an airplane ride with another guy, and he noticed my headphones because I was trying out the SE846s, and I told him my issues, and he goes, yeah, I had the same problem. And so I actually tried a high-end pair of Shures, not this pair, I think he probably had the 535s, and he said, same problem. I returned them right away because I kept on hearing my own breathing really loud. And so he switched to over-the-ear headphones, and so that was fine. Now take a look, and you can choose if you want a 2-pin connector or the MMCX connectors, and I chose the MMCX connectors because I wanted to be able to buy Bluetooth headsets that you can buy from Westone. I've got links in the description below for those as well. But I wanted to be able to get my own cables. But then I noticed that when I compared the sound of all of my headphones, that the cable actually made a difference. When I plugged in the cables that he gave me, the hand-braided cable, into the Shure SE846s, I heard more high frequencies. and it was crazy. And then when I plugged in my custom IEMs into a Shure cable, I actually found two things. One, less high frequency response, and two, a smaller sound stage. And when I say sound stage, it's as if all the instruments were just bundled up in front of you, not spread out over a huge space. And I remember listening to one particular piece, and the guy's voice all of a sudden came from the right, and I actually looked over my shoulder when I was testing out my custom IEMs for the first time. And I just laughed at myself because it was such a realism in the soundstage. I was in shock. And so I have never believed the hype that cables mattered ever, like whether it's HDMI cables or audio cables, monster cables and all that junk, right? But I have a theory that because we're talking about such small drivers that are so close to our eardrums, that everything matters. Like on the smallest magnitude, they matter. And so I have a feeling that's why it actually makes a difference when you change a cable. And so I can't really explain it. The other surprising thing that I found is that what you're listening to, the device that you're listening to, matters a lot too. And so I have an iPhone 10 that I listen to, and I found that one has quite a high frequency, and it takes it takes a little bit louder to get my bass to match my high end. So I usually listen to from 9 bumps of the plus volume button up. Okay. And that's when I find a really nice sweet spot for listening to music on my iPhone 10. Now, on the MacBook Pro from 2014 that I have, I found that it reduces the high frequencies. There's not quite as good intelligibility in the high frequencies. And both of them give me a pretty good soundstage. I'd say the iPhone 10 a little bit better, but maybe almost too much sibilance. But I couldn't believe that I could hear the difference between the devices simply from having great headphones that have a flat frequency response up to 20K. And I know that I can't hear 20K, but there's definitely a difference in the way, one, the soundstage reacts as far as where the instruments are, and two, the high frequency response. And so amazing. And so when you try to compare the different headphones, ultimately, my advice is if the Shure SE846s fit you and they sound good, then stick with it. There's no reason why you would need to go to a custom IEM. But for me personally, I tried out, $1,200 headphones, and they were awful, and they fall out of my head. And even if I were to get custom sleeves for them, I have a feeling they wouldn't sit right in my ear. And so custom IEMs were the way to go. Definitely check out Simon at Plunge Audio if you're in Calgary. And I think custom IEMs are the way to go for many of us, because just like fingerprints, our ears are not all made the same. And if we're shoving stuff in it to critically listen to things, we're all not going to get the same response out of that too. So that's all I have for today. I do have a thought of the day here today. That is, when you are through trying to improve, you are through. Yeah. And so hopefully proof is in the pudding, but not only will I be able to enjoy music more now, but also I can make better media on the road because I've got these nice custom IEMs. So thanks so much for watching, guys. You guys can subscribe, you guys can share, you can find all the links in the notes and the updates that I have in the description below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. God bless.